have seen the definitions for NetSuite user and role. You have also seen how a user gets associated with a role in NetSuite. Each role can have a governing access and a set of permissions. The role permissions are defined to create entities, transactions, forms, lists, searches, tasks, and more. Standard role definition include the predefined set of permissions. To manage a role, log in as an administrator or any other role which has the authorization for managing roles. In the Navigation Center, move the cursor over to Setup. From the drop-down menu, select User/Roles and click on Manage Roles. The Manage Role form opens as shown in this slide. Click on the Edit button to change the permissions. When you click on Edit, you will see the form for changing permissions as shown in this slide. Permissions are generally assigned to roles. It automatically applies to all the users who are associated with that role. It is always recommended as a best practice that if you want to modify the permission for a role, use the standard role as a template. Copy the standard role template to a new role, modify the permissions, and save it. While the permissions are defined at the role level, you can also apply restrictions at the user level. A restriction defines which instances of that record or a form can be accessed by a user. You can restrict a role, user access, based on employee, department, locations, class, and subsidiary operations. NetSuite has lot of predefined roles for different business functions. Each predefined role comes with a set of permissions enabled at the entity, transactions, forms, records, lists, searches, and more. You can create a custom role or a new role from scratch and define a set of permissions. When you are creating a custom role, use the standard role as a template. To create a custom role, log in as System Administrator of NetSuite account. In the Navigation Center, move the cursor over Setup, and from the drop-down menu, select User/Roles. Click on Manage Role. Select the role you want to use as a template for the custom role. Click on Customize button. In the Name field in the General tab, enter the name of the custom role. Click on the Save button to save the new custom role definition. Once the custom role has been saved, you can click on the Edit button of the custom role and modify the permission as required. Likewise, if you want to create a new role, click on the New Role button to define a new role and relevant permissions. Many times, we create a custom role using the standard role as a template to modify or restrict the permissions relevant to that custom role. In this case, it becomes critical that we compare the custom role permission with the standard role to ensure the restrictions are properly defined. You can use the Show Role Differences feature in NetSuite to quickly review the differences in permission between the roles. When you are logged into NetSuite as an administrator or with authorized role, move the cursor over Setup in the Navigation Center. When you see the drop-down menu, select the User/Role. You can see a sub-menu with the option Show Role Differences. When you click on Show Role Differences, the Show Permission Differences between roles form opens, similar to what you see in this slide. Select the base role from the drop-down list. This will be the base role for comparison to the other role. In the Compare to drop-down list, select one or more roles to compare with the base role. If you want to see only the difference in role permission, enable the box against Only Show Role Difference. Click on Show button. You will see the role permission differences shown between the base role and the compared role. In this slide, we are seeing the role difference permission between accountant and accountant reviewer. You can export the list as a CSV file or in a spreadsheet for validation. Click on the New button to see another role difference.
Hello everyone. Welcome back to SunderS Oracle NetSuite Cloud ERP Foundation e-learning series. We have come to the end of Module 6 of Volume 1. Let me summarize what I have taken you through in this module. We have seen who is a NetSuite user and what is a role in NetSuite. Then we have seen how to assign a NetSuite user to a NetSuite role. I have also taken you through the standard roles provided by NetSuite and the default navigation center associated with them. To ensure security at the business level and not everyone have access to all the forms, we also looked at how to define the user role permission at the form, transaction level, reports, search, and at the subsidiary level. Then we also looked at how to restrict the user access to forms, transactions to certain roles, and within a role, how to do that for a specific user. Then we looked at how to create custom roles where standard roles are not meeting the business requirements, and how to manage permissions for the new custom role defined in the system. Finally, we looked at the importance of the show role difference feature in NetSuite and how it helps to compare the permissions between a standard and a custom role. As there are many forms, transactions, reports, and searches in the system, the show role difference serves more like an audit check to make sure all the relevant permissions mapped to the users are provided when the new roles are defined. With this, we have come to the end of Module 6 and also the end of Volume 1 in the NetSuite e-learning series. If you like the video, please click the like button. As always, if you have any questions, please write to my email ID and I will respond to you back. I will talk to you again before we begin the Volume 2 videos. Thank you.